Behind closed doors, the jurors debate, discuss, and dissect each other's points of view on the nominated books. Over the last 10 years, these awards have changed the lives of the winning authors, encouraged public engagement with the democratic process, and may well even have influenced the course of Canadian society. The first of the 5 books nominated for this year's Donner Prize is Enter the Babylon System by Rodrigo Bascuñan and Christian Pierce. The book is a hard-hitting history of a multi-billion-dollar industry and its impact on our popular culture. It explores the various forms of entertainment that bombard our senses with the seductive allure of violence.
It's a very unorthodox discussion of rap music and guns. And I guess I'm not well informed on these subjects, either of them, because I'm too old for rap music.
You know, there's an interesting line in the book where I don't remember whether it was the authors or someone they were interviewing said, youth need hope. They don't need policy prescriptions.
Entering Babylon is an extraordinary book. I couldn't put it down.
Gangs have been around for many years. They are a homegrown problem infesting cities and towns across the country. Young Thugs, Inside the Dangerous World of Canadian Street Gangs by Michael C. Chettleberg. The book exposes how gangs work and what attracts thousands of young Canadians to them each year.
Well, Young Thugs is a very kind of gripping book.
It's a remarkable book.
We clearly do not have adequate public policy responses to this phenomenon, and the author is giving us some suggestions and some debates, some controversial, I should add, that I hope will animate the discussion and lead to policy responses that address this significant issue.
How can our reliance on fossil fuels be changed over time so that we have a much more sustainable energy system in the near future? Fueling Our Future, An Introduction to Sustainable Energy by Robert L. Evans. The book provides a concise overview of current energy demands and supply patterns. Evans is careful to avoid the trap of assigning the problem's resolution to only one or a handful of remedies.
Well, Fueling the Future is actually a first-class book.
It's up to Canadians, governments, and industry working together to make sensible choices that lead to that sustainable energy future. This is an excellent book.
We live in a time when fewer and fewer Canadians are exercising their right to vote, and many feel great disenchantment with their elected representatives. The People's House of Commons, Theories of Democracy and Contention by David E. Smith. The book explores the ramifications of many of the changes currently being proposed to Canada's political system.
David Smith is a highly distinguished political scientist at the University of Saskatchewan who's written a superb book on the House of Commons.
He debunks some of the myths about what's wrong with the House of Commons and cautions that we need to do our homework before we rush out and change it.
A stunning piece of scholarship by someone who knows as much about Canadian parliamentary institutions as anyone in the country.
I think it's a first-class book.
Canadian soldiers continue to fight an insurgency unlike any they have encountered before. The Unexpected War, Canada in Kandahar, by Janice Gross Stein and Eugene Lang. The book confronts the debate over the appropriate role for Canada, its military, and its foreign policy and global security measures.
It's a very interesting book, not only because of the subject, but because it makes you appreciate the fragility of the decision-making process.
All of that comes out in the book, so it makes a very engaging read as well as a very instructive one.
And it brings to the table a fairly objective view of what happened and where we are and where we might go.
It is a book that I think all Canadians who care about our involvement in Afghanistan should read.
The books shortlisted for this year's Donner Prize address relevant topics discussed by Canadians daily. This bodes well for the future of the Donner Prize as a vital part of Canadian society and social discourse.